Right, so first we're going to put some white down at the bottom half of the painting. So if we can get it just the complete bottom half white up to the halfway point.
Will we separate it with a line or anything?
No, just use your own judgment.
Okay.
I trust you. You can paint the top half and just turn it upside down if you feel that's easier. That's what I'll be doing.
But just halfway then?
Aye. Well, it doesn't have to be like pure covering every single centimetre of the canvas. If you've got wee gaps, that's fine, because it's going to be like sky and ground and all that, so we'll be putting other colours over the top of it. Right, now we have to do this quite quick because we're wanting 3 different colours on while the paint's still wet.
On the bottom half?
No, leave the bottom half just now.
Leave the bottom half?
Well, I'm turning it upside down now and I'm going to put yellow in.
Right, and is that for the sky or the bottom?
This is me putting my sky in now.
Right, okay. Because I'm painting the bottom bit.
Aye, I've just turned it upside down.
Oh,
right, okay.
Nice. Where do we want yellow? Up the top?
Up the top, aye.
Okay, use the same brush, wouldn't it?
Aye, we're fine. And with what try to kind of soften the yellow the further down we get. So when it starts blending with the white, it'll be nice and soft and it's not quite cold. But see, I've got gaps up here near the top and that. I'm not worrying about that because we're going to put another colour in later on anyway.
Okay.
So it's just kind of quick to get the kind of blend we're looking for. Want this to be almost white down at the bottom, the yellow, but still a hint of yellow in it. All the white was for really was just to really lighten that yellow as we bring it down.
But do you want to bring that yellow right down to the bottom then?
I'm not too bothered about the very bottom because there's going to be ground in it. That will put that be the last stage. We'll get some ground in. Right, now after that, I'm sorry if I'm rushing you here, but we just really have to do this because it's the drying time that we have to worry about, because this will only work if the paint's dry. So, same again with red now. Use the same brush if you want. And I'm not putting a lot of red on this. I want to spread it. This is just one dip that I'm using so far. And we'll see how it goes.
My window cleaner's at my window and he's looking at me saying, what the hell is she doing? Oh my God, please hurry up and finish waiting my window and go away.
So what you should have then is like kind of dark red, red, kind of dark orange at the top, fading into a lighter orange and fading into a yellow without actually noticing the change too much. And you can slow down a bit once you're getting your red in, because that's what's got by the important bit.
Panic over. I thought you were trying to do a 10-minute video there.
So while you still get a bit of yellow on your palette, we want to put in a wee hole here in the background. We want it quite bold, so we want to stand out. So probably the pure yellow from the bottle should be fine. So maybe about here. And we can just bring it along as far as you want. Really. Oh. So you can take it away mountain quite far along, because we're going to be putting something else over the top of it again, so it doesn't really matter where you stop. But this might need a couple of coats of yellow just to make it that wee bit brighter than the rest of the canvas. But that's fine. So if you just get your yellow, once your top bit's a bit drier, and we can just put wee areas of yellow in just to break up the orange. You can do as much of this as you like. And I'm going to try a wee bit of white in there as well, along with the yellow, and see how that's looking. Yeah, I think the white works quite well in there. So I'm going to add a wee bit more white, because I quite like that. It would just be random, there's no particular area that I'm going to concentrate on, just take your pick. And again, if you're putting the white on, just keep on working it in until it's actually kind of sinks right in with the rest of the colours. And that's mixing quite nice with the yellow then. I quite like that white. Very effective. Right, while that's a wee bit tacky down the bottom with the yellow, I'm going to start getting my bit of foreground in, because it'll cause like nice wee mixtures in that, because it's not completely dry. So I'm just going to get just a wee brush, a wee flat brush, and get some red on it. Just a wee bit of red just now, just a wee bit on the tip like that, and start putting the shape of the foreground in. So I'm taking it right from the corner here. Right up to there, and just keep on filling it in. And we're not wanting nice smooth brush strokes, we want to just kind of get it down, because we want to get a kind of texture. Look, we're going to be putting the palette knife on it later on. So we're not worried about all these gaps and that. This is just basically a layer that we're putting on.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you my palette here, or my so-called palette, what I use for a palette, right? So I've got yellow, I've got a bit of red and brown together, and I've got some white. Now, I'm going to randomly just pick up a wee bit of each and start putting it across the bottom here at the land.
Rubbish. Gotta fight my life out.
Driving me crazy today. So is that just a mixture of
Yeah, a wee bit of everything, Bridget.
wee bit of white? Right.
Yeah, a wee bit of everything. See what it takes us. I don't know what it's going to look like.
Just dabbed all over it, really?
Aye, it's just pick random wee areas and just try and put your palette knife flat down so it's just like gliding across the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you a nice wee kind of rocky kind of texture kind of look.
Mm-hmm. Mark, have you got brown on that?
Have
Aye, I can't see it right. Right.
yeah, brown, red, yellow and white I'm using.
Eh?
Brown, red, yellow and white.
Right.
Right, I'll need to make a brown.
Are you okay with making a brown, Jamie, do you know?
I need to make a brown.
Yeah, do you know how to do it? Yeah.
Make an orangey colour and then add a bit of blue.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Woohoo, go me, to remember.
The thing about using the palette knife is that it goes on really, really thick, so there's a lot of drying time, so it's maybe worthwhile getting your hairdryer out once you're finished with the palette knife. So that wee yellow hill in the background is very pale looking, so I'm going to mess about a wee bit with a palette knife and see if I can brighten it up a wee bit, make it a bit more vibrant. This is just a mixture of the colours that I had for this bottom part down here. And just for the right hand side of this, but I'm going to be a bit lighter with my detail. We've got a lot more yellow on the palette knife, so it's just not as bold as this colour here. Now what I'm going to do here is these dark brown bits, I'm just going to put a wee bit of kitchen roll on to take some of it away again. It feels as if they're too bold. I feel as if they're a wee bit too bold. Not taking an awful lot away, just wee light dabs just to pick up small parts of it. And I'm just going to get my brush and put a wee light kind of tone along here just to finish it off in the background so it looks a wee bit more distant. I'm quite happy with the kind of brown tones and browns and red on top of the yellow. It's quite effective. So I'm quite happy with that tone. It's kind of like a peachy, kind of beigey, peachy type of colour. Right. So for the brown today, it's just a flat brush. Get brown out the bottle, straight from the tube, and just kind of have a bit of movement in your brush when you're bringing it up. That will give you these wee kind of knots. And they're just kind of random. Then after that, the head of branches. And use your brush kind of long ways so that it's going flat like that, or narrower branches. As long as we get the general shape in just now, that's fine. We can refine it later on. We can put maybe twigs, wee thinner twigs and that in between there. But as long as we get this in just now, that's the most important part. Right, so for the next part, with thin brush, wee liner brush, and we'll start getting these twigs in. It's just the same brown again that you've been using. You can also use a palette knife for this. And it's sometimes just a case of placing it on. That's not how to do it. If you do make a mistake, do a bit of kitchen, well, kind of, you right. That's fine. I just put too much on my brush there. So you can put as much of these wee twigs on as you want. Now on the tree trunk, I'm going to get a wee dash of yellow on the tip of my brush here. Just like that. I'm going to put just a wee random bits of yellow here as if there's a bit of light hitting it. And we'll do it right up here, this big bit here as well. We'll put, and it's not like a yellow line or anything, it's just wee random areas at the outside edge. Right, I've got another liner brush here I'm going to do these edges with, I think. Yeah, we can place it on and it's a wee bit more, it's a wee bit bolder then. When you're using the liner brush and you just place it on, it's not sinking into the paint, it's just the line where you put it. So that's maybe more effective for this type of highlight. Now where you've put the yellow on the left hand side of the tree trunk and some of the branches, I'm going to get a wee bit of red and just put a wee bit of red highlight down the right hand side. Again, it's just random, it's not like a straight line or just that's on it. See, just at the bottom of the tree, I'm going to have a bit of shadow coming down off the tree just along the bottom of the ground there. So if you get a brown you've been using for the tree, and add a wee bit of black to it just to darken it. You're not wanting pure black, you just want it to be a darker brown.
Yeah, I'm still doing the branches now.
Okay. So for the shadow, I'll take a wee bit of point to the tree, in fact, a wee bit dark around here. I'm just going at an angle down here. And it's not a straight line because there's a lot of lumps and bumps on this ground. But then we'll thicken it. And when we're doing a shadow, what we don't want is a complete stop for the black to that underneath colour. So we want to get a dry brush here, a wee bit on the edge. So just wipe the brush clean, you rough it a wee bit here and scrub it at it. There's a nice shadow effect you'll get then. It actually fades out rather than a sudden stop. Same at the top here, just. And give your brush a wipe again. Sometimes when you're doing the dry brush, it picks up paint and stops being as effective. So just keep on giving that a wee wipe now and again. Right, so the next step is we're going to put in our tyre swing. So it's quite straightforward. Get some black and decide where you want your tyre placed. I'm going to be having it for my swing come down round about here. So my wee tyre's going to be here. Don't want it too far off the ground. Something like that, I'm happy with. Now you can actually use a coin for this if you want the tyre looking as if it's face onto you. The way I've done it is it's kind of an oval shape, so it's looking like it's sitting at an angle. But if you want it straight on, you could just use the round object like a coin or something and kind of work around that with your brush to try and get a nice circle. I want to get it slightly thicker than what I've got here. I'm pretty happy with that. For the next stage for your actual piece of rope, you can either use a palette knife or a lining brush. I'll just go with a lining brush. Now get your smallest brush. Once you put your tyre in, get the smallest brush you can find with the finest point on it. And I've got a wee tiny one like this, it's really, really small. And all I'm going to do with this is get a wee tiny bit of white on the tip of that. Like that, you can see how small it is. And we're just going to put a wee highlight on the outside of the tyre. Now we don't want a straight, a continuous line. It's just like wee random bits on the edge, just to get a wee highlight. And you can put another wee bit on the inside. Now, once you've done this, this is me finished with the actual video. But you can play about with this and add more twigs. You can put a wee lump of grass here and there down the bottom if you want. There's what you can put some birds in the sky. You can add more clouds. You can go on with this video for this painting for another couple of hours if you want. But I'll leave it at that just now.